Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan. Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
You know him?
Well, of course I know him. He's me.
Everything that I could do for the show is done and has been done for about a year.
When we started talking about making Obi-Wan Kenobi, it was going to be a movie.
Fade in.
We are really close. We have all the scripts written. We are ready to start shooting next year.
It wasn't always in the back of my mind to play Obi-Wan Kenobi again. I think if you'd asked me after we finished episode 3, you know, when we shot it in 2003, if I would do it again, I would probably most definitely have said no. There was just nothing, you know, my memory of episode 2 and 3 is really vague. And also they weren't received very well when they came out. So I think if you'd asked me then, I would have said no. I've put in I've done my part. Well, at the beginning of the series, I guess it's about 10 years. They're saying 10 years. I think it's less than that. Let's say 8 to 10 years after the end of episode 3. I'm only in the last, few years sort of aware of the generation who we made those films for, He's not living with the Force anymore. He's just working hand to mouth.
The fight is done.
Jedi cannot help what they are.
I mean, it's no secret that Obi-Wan Kenobi is somewhat of a broken figure after the episode 3. It's 10 years later, and the Jedi Order has been all destroyed, and all his friends are either lost or in hiding, and so he's a sort of solitary, lonely, broken man, and that's where the story starts.
Hello there. Come here, my little friend. Don't be afraid.
So we find Obi-Wan at the beginning of our story, rather broken and faithless and beaten, somewhat given up.
Your father wanted you to have this when you were old enough.
What is it?
Your father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
He's so it's like 10 years after the end of episode 3, and the end of episode 3, the Jedis are all but wiped out, and those who haven't been killed are in hiding, and this sort of Jedi Order has collapsed, and Obi-Wan's lost his brother Anakin to the dark side of the Force, and I think feels a certain sort of responsibility for that. So it's 10 years later, he's in hiding himself, and he's sort of living without the Force, and he's a pretty broken man.
He was the best star pilot in the galaxy, and a cunning warrior. And he was a good friend.
I have to use a very uncivilized weapon at the start of the series because I'm a bit rusty. Obi-Wan's he's not able to use the Force anymore, so he's totally out of practice.
Let me see your identification.
You don't need to see his identification. I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.
The Force?
And the Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us. You must feel the force around you. Here, between you, me, the tree, the rock, everywhere.
I really don't think I could have honestly done Kenobi if I hadn't done Mandalorian first. And it was for a number of reasons. One was just on the practical side of just, having the opportunity to work with everything and get to know the galaxy, because it can be quite a challenging galaxy sometimes to work in. And then also to have, the tutelage and work under Dave and John, and to really sort of get the essence and the feel of Star Wars. The Star Wars fan base is incredibly passionate. So, and they also know this, they know the galaxy so well. So, and especially with a project like this and the legacy aspect. So, you certainly feel the pressure, you certainly feel the responsibility. And also I feel a responsibility to try to, uphold the canon and respect George's work as well. Whereas this one, because of the legacy and the canon aspect and being in between two trilogies, there's so much history and so much responsibility that goes with them. We are bringing back Hayden Christensen to reprise the role of Darth Vader. We couldn't tell the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi without addressing Anakin or Vader.
Have another swing at each other might be quite satisfying for everybody. There's an enormous amount of training that went into all the fight scenes with or without lightsabers in this. We did a lot of work to just to get fit again, because the shooting of a fight scene is just a huge amount of energy, and you need a lot of stamina. So I spent quite a long time getting fit. Obviously, in the 3 films that we made, I didn't work with Darth Vader. So in this, the first scene that we did, we rehearsed it, and we rehearsed it, and Hayden didn't have the helmet on, whatever. And then in the scene, he comes up from behind me, and we were getting ready, and I'm getting my makeup done, and then we'd start the show action, and I start walking down. And then I turn around, there's Vader coming at me. And I swear, I had this jolt of absolute fear, real fear. No, I've never had that in acting before. I was 7 years old again going, because the face, the helmet coming at you.
All right, here we go. All right, guys, here we go. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, go!
Can you give me 3 words that describe Darth Vader in the series the best?
Ooh, driven, vengeful, and unstoppable.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Streaming our favorite shows, keeping in touch with our loved ones, and even our banking is mostly done online these days. We'd like to think our information is safe, but as our online footprint increases, so does our need for proper security. Surfshark adds an extra layer of security when you're online to keep all of your passwords, photos, and videos safe. There's a lot of websites and hackers that take your info without you even knowing it, but you can swim under their radar using Surfshark VPN, a virtual private network. Surfshark is a VPN service that protects your information by encrypting all of the data that you send through the internet. You can stop websites from tracking your info and selling targeted ads to you. With the click of a button, you can forget about data mining and intrusive advertisements. One of my favorite features of Surfshark is that you can see content not available in your area. Disney Plus or Netflix, for example, have different movies for each country. Access should not be tied to a region. In China, YouTube and most social media websites are banned. With Surfshark, you can solve the problem by simply changing your location. Just connect to the service and refresh the page. Surfshark is an app and browser extension that enables you to place your laptop or phone anywhere in the world and allows you to access the internet as if you were in that country. You can watch any content anywhere in the world on any of your devices. Surfshark turns you into an anonymous and hard-to-trace online user and makes the internet a safer and more enjoyable place for you. I use Surfshark every day. It automatically starts up whenever I start my PC, and whenever I need it, I activate it with just one click. Surfshark is the only VPN to offer one account to use on an unlimited number of devices. If you want both protection and freedom online, use my code NMSW, short for Not My Star Wars, to get 83% off plus 3 extra months for free. Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out for yourself. The link is in the description below.
So you saw Force Awakens?
I did, yeah, I liked it. I got some popcorn and I went in and I watched the Star Wars, the new Star Wars movie, and I loved it. I really loved it. I thought it was great. I thought he did an amazing job.
And I've really enjoyed everything that they've been up to, you know. So it's great to be back.
Yeah, I mean, I did as much as I could. I just wanted to educate myself as much as possible. And of course, the Star Wars sort of storytelling has continued to grow so much. So there was a lot for me to catch up on. And I really enjoyed it, you know, as a fan myself. You know, the animated work that Dave Filoni did, you know, to, you know, these other new Star Wars films and TV shows. I love The Mandalorian, you know. So I just wanted to sort of refamiliarize myself in preparation for this. Yeah, I really enjoyed the sequel trilogy. You know, I think it was you know, great the way that they honored this character. You know, I really enjoyed sort of everything that they've been up to.
Ooh, without giving away anything, just a great story, you know. The first time I read the scripts, I was just blown away. I think they really sort of stayed true to what makes Star Wars great, and it's just an exciting story. You know, what's going on with the Obi-Wan Kenobi character, and of course Darth Vader. I think fans will be in for a real treat.
That film just changed everybody or everything, or it meant a lot to a lot of people. So we just watched it. Me and my brother watched it all the time. Once we ended up with a video recorder, which wasn't then, it was later, but we had the videotape and we almost wore it out. You know, I think we knew every line of dialogue from that first film. But yeah, when I went, my mum and dad picked us up from school. I remember I would have been 6. It was 76 or 77, I don't remember, but.
Now, Ewan, have you been involved in the creation of the series?
I've been involved in it to a degree, yeah. Deborah Chow is our brilliant director, and she pioneered worked with the writers and worked on the storylines and everything. I was sort of involved in reading all the different versions of it and giving my thoughts to it, and I've been along for the ride, if you like. So Deborah Chow, our amazing director of this series, who directed all of the episodes, so really, it was like we made a 6-hour-long movie, and that's how it felt when we were shooting it. I got the privilege of working along with her through the preparation as well, you know, because I was involved as a producer from the start.
So all of that certainly goes into it. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, you just have to try to tell the best story you can and, you know, trust your own instincts, because there's really no other way to do it otherwise.
She's a Jedi hunter, an Inquisitor, one of 4 total, all subordinates of Darth Vader, and they all have their own ways of doing things.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was obviously adapting them from the animated series, from Rebels and, you know, all of Dave Filoni's work. So I think it's, you know, I'm trying to stay truer to the essence of, you know, of what Dave was doing in the animated series, but we did also invent, you know, there's some new Inquisitors as well.
I think it just goes back to the stories, you know, and sort of how George Lucas originally sort of conceived them. You know, it laid the foundation for these new storytellers to come in and tell their own stories in the Star Wars universe, and I think it's just really exciting.
It's just such an interesting, well-defined world where every detail is so well thought out. And I think it's also a very inclusive galaxy where, you know, everybody can sort of find a place in it.
Deborah Chow, our director, was really great about inviting me into the process of working on and developing who Reva would be.
They're such a great guiding touchstone for me to always, their instincts are always correct. So whenever we had a question or wherever there was a line of dialogue that we weren't sure about, we'd go to the actors, and, you know, they always had the right instincts because they just know those characters so well.
You know, I wasn't a big fan of Star Wars before this, so I didn't grow up being a super huge Star Wars fan.
There are obviously a lot of interesting people that are out there at this time in the galaxy, so there definitely will be some surprises to come.
Move along.
Move along. Move along.
Viewers can expect a wild ride.
Please like, subscribe, and comment on the video. May the Force be with you.
Impressive. Most impressive.